Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another weekly track roundup where I let you guys know what I felt about a variety of tracks that dropped over the past week. Love them, hate them, or feel some way in between. They're all linked down below, along with our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from that whenever you use it to buy vinyl or turntable or whatever. Check them out. We have our Patreon page down below if you want to get hooked up for a small monthly fee, some extra bonus monthly content, be that some extra Let's Argue stuff or exclusive, monthly classic album live streams, clips from our streams as well. Check that out too. And also a shout out to the good people over at The Ridge. Our link for them is down there too. Promo code MELON, 10% off that order. Worst tracks of the week. We have a couple, and they are as follows. Beginning with this new one from Charlie Puth. Not really liking the sort of childish and chipmunky vocal manipulations he's laid into this track, and the beat kind of sounds like a combination of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights and Coldplay's Higher Power. Not liking it. Not my vibe. Just really torturous to listen to. We also have Mona Lisa, Lil Pump and Soulja Boy. Lil Pump singing on This Is Ass. The beat sucks. Soulja's feature on the back end is way out of place for the energy of the song. I dare anybody to make a worse song than this year. Let's see if you can do it. All right, we also have a new one from Lana Del Rey from the Euphoria soundtrack for Season 2 of the series. This one is Watercolor Eyes, and this kind of feels like a leftover from the last record as it suffers from many of the same issues. I like the song. I like some of the imagery coming out of Lana's lyrics, but the performance is way off. The backing instrumentation sometimes seems like it's falling out of tune and groove, and Lana's harmonies are sometimes harmonious and sometimes not. Again, the song itself is pretty cool, but the delivery is embarrassingly sloppy, and I just don't really see the appeal in it, as far as that anyway. And we have a new one from Big Crit, So Cool. Of course, I was really excited to see creatively a new era from this fantastic Mississippi producer and rapper. And, new single. Of course, my mouth is watering, but incredibly disappointed by the direction of this. I mean, some of the throwback 70s vibes are cool, but the more I heard the hook, the more annoying it was. And it's so short, it doesn't really have too much in the way of a structure either. It just kind of seems really sloppy and slapped together, like he not only wrote a mediocre song, but then on top of it tried to make it as short as possible to maximize streams and maybe stripped out anything that might have been likable about it in the process. So So Cool. I'm not really finding it all too cool, but I guess we'll see what this new album cycle pans out into, and maybe Crit will be kind of hanging in this era, this sound aesthetically for this new record. Only time will tell. All right, Meh, the tracks I was not crazy about, but you still might like them more than me. Check them out. We have a new one from Zeal and Ardor in the sort of meantime before the new record has been released. Church Burns is the name of this one. It's got some nice heavy passages, but some of the more, I guess, kind of rock and almost like country tinged sections do kind of give me like truck commercial vibes again, a lot like the last track. It seems just a little bit off in that way. We have a new one from Sevdaliza. I like the instrumental on this one. It's hypnotizing. It's got a great driving beat, but I feel like her vocals get a little too buried in it, and I'm not exactly crazy about the direction stylistically. It kind of reminds me of like your boilerplate, overly reverbed indie pop a la maybe Cigarettes After Sex or something, but still like light years ahead of that in terms of appeal. I just don't think it's like, the strongest track she's ever dropped, I guess. We have a new one from Nate Day, a banger from him, quite grimy, loving the compression, loving the bass on this one. It hits hard, it's nasty. I just wish it was a little bit a little bit longer, but still, shout out to Nate for this one. He definitely put together a dirty ass track with Sober Dober. Check it out. We have Ibibio Sound Machine. Electricity, forthcoming record. This song over here is All That You Want. Now, apparently, this forthcoming LP is going to be produced by none other than Hot Chip, and it kind of sounds like it, not necessarily in the best way. I mean, the vocals are certainly solid, but you know, the synths and drums do kind of hit in this very stereotypical Hot Chip LCD sound system sort of way, to the point where it feels almost like a dead ringer for tracks those groups have released in the past. And on top of it, I feel like going in this direction production-wise has stripped out some of the I think very necessary like Afrobeat influences that have made Ibibio Sound Machine such a significant project thus far. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something more in a straightforward synth pop direction, this might be for you. But you know, I'm looking forward to more tracks from the record, and we'll see how it all kind of pans out as an overall project for sure. We have a new one from Ghost, Call Me Little Sunshine, a kind of weak showing from the band in my opinion, but it's not as if they didn't try. You know, it's got a grandiosity like that of many tracks off of, like, you know, Metallica's Black Album. Very big, very huge, very epic, not quite as poppy and as slick and as cheery as many songs off their last LP. They're really like trying to, I guess, just come off gargantuan on this one. And yeah, you know, it's got a strong intro, I think, but once the vocals drop and the song continues to get more and more tedious and lose momentum, it really begins to kind of deflate after a while. I don't think it like kind of keeps up the pace all that well, but I'm still looking forward to the new Ghost record. Maybe it's something that'll grow on me a bit more when I hear the entire LP. We have a new one from Bladee and Echo 2K as well. It kind of seems like that drained sound, but mixed with a little bit of hyperpop. I think it's kind of a cool direction. Echo 2K's very chirpy verse on the track is quite entertaining, though I'm still a little off-put by some of Blade's vocal input. It seems like, you know, for the most part, the Drainers are enjoying the somewhat new direction here, though I think Bladee has been flirting with something in this vein for a little bit now, but now both of them are really going hard in that direction. So here we go, Amygdala. All right, we have a new one from Alex Cameron, Best Life. This one, a lot like Sarah Joe, is kind of checking those classic Alex Cameron boxes, but then again, something feels a little missing. Like the production on this one feels just a bit too dry and a bit too flat, like, you know, maybe a little too lo-fi or recorded on the cheap. I don't know, but you know, it's not like Alex hasn't had a alternative recording, you know, in mixed styles in the past. And I suppose on top of it, there is a sense of humor to the music that I like quite a bit as well. And, you know, I think the vocal swagger is back that was kind of missing on Sarah Joe, so I'm enjoying that. My feelings are mixed, but my feelings were mixed on the singles on his last LP, and I ended up loving that record, so maybe it's something that I'll really end up enjoying once the entire LP is out. I guess we'll see. All right, best tracks of the week, the ones that really stop me in my tracks, they are as follows. We have quite a few, so try to keep up. We have a new one from Undeath over here, some very rowdy and hard-hitting death metal. Really getting ambitious on some of the groove switches and the guitar solos on this one as well. It's a lot to take in, a little more colorful and ornate than the stuff off of their last record, which was also absolutely killer. Check this one out. It's classic. It's just you know, really grimy, bloody, old-school death. We have a new one from Arca, remixing Laurie Anderson's Big Science, one of my favorite tracks from Laurie Anderson. And Arca has come through with a very meditative 10-minute version of the song that borrows some elements and kind of turns it into just a very hypnotic, very lengthy, very linear, groovy jam that's drony, you know, kind of swelling synths and everything like that. Laurie's vocals don't really, you know, come into play on this one, but Arca still kind of captures the general drone and musical essence and, you know, kind of the meditative quality of the track, and kind of, you know, just sort of brings it into a new era. I think it's a cool new version. It's very cool, smart, respectful new version, new remix of a classic track. All right, we have a Pup coming through with this song over here, which has a great conceptual music video attached to it, which I will tell you is very entertaining. Robot writes a love song, liking the lyrical themes, liking the different passages of the song as well. It's conceptual, it's ambitious, feels huge. Feels like they're kind of not transitioning out of their punk sound, but they're kind of making something that might transcend it, or kind of reaching beyond it a little bit, but still sounding very raw and very hype at their core in the way that Pup does. It's a good track. It's a good tune. Smart track. All right, we have a new one from Jenny Hval as well, Jenny Hval. And this one over here, Year of Love, is like a wonderful, hypnotizing, sort of hippie art pop commune circle. I love it a lot. I think it's really great. Jenny's records typically do tend to shift creatively from album to album in terms of what's being done, stylistically and everything. And I welcome a record that flirts with this sound. Honestly, it just feels really entrancing and really groovy and very fun. So liking it a lot. We have a new one from Hatchie as well over here, really like throwing it back on kind of a classic dance pop groove and sound on this one. Solid song on it too. Not the most distinct vocals you're ever going to hear, but good sound, good production all around. Quicksand is the title. Give it a spin. Soul Glow, the most blistering hardcore punk track I have heard in years, will totally rip your head off and offer you no apology for doing so. Jump or Get Jumped is the name of the track. Totally kicks ass. Give it a spin. We have a new one from Dev Lemons over here. I think her best track to date. The hyper pop nods, the break beats, the vocals, the chorus. This track has pretty much everything going for it. It really is the total package. One Whole Me is the title of the song. I highly encourage you to check it out. We have Judgment Bolts, which is a new track from Death's dynamic Shroud. Holy shit. This is amazing. The grooves are incredible. Like, my God. This is an absolutely mind-blowing dance track with a great little cool-down point in the middle, and awesome bringing the beat back at the end. It's just a great song all around, like beyond words, just like how hard-hitting and incredible this song is, and the sound of this song, because there's such amazing sound play throughout it too. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right, we have Daniel Rossen of Grizzly Bear fame coming back. Shadow in the Frame, new track, new solo record on the way. And this is what I've wanted. This is what I have wanted. This is what I have been dying for. Daniel, please. Just beautiful song, wonderful instrumentation, orchestral, dynamic, subtle, nuanced, beautiful. Melody is amazing. Just really kind of calls back to that Yellow House era of Grizzly Bear, and that's my favorite era. And it doesn't sound exactly like it, but it sounds different in a way where it sounds like it's kind of new, it's fresh. Just loving it. It's just a great orchestral, indie pop and folk, and can't wait to hear more. Cannot wait to hear more. All right, we have Brakence, CBD, Chill by Death. CBD. Liking this one a lot. I think this is genuinely one of his best singles thus far. A few that he dropped in 2021 I thought were a little rough, but this is a genuinely good piece of glitch pop. I like his expressive vocals. The chorus is solid as hell. Punchy beats, too, in the mix. A lot of good things going for this one. I don't think it's going to rub everybody the right way, but I think it's a special little track. I think it's a special one. All right, we have a new one over here, Gangsta Rap from Fatlip Blu is on the cut as well. And Madlib is doing production. And yeah, it's kind of an ode to old school West Coast hip hop. It's got some classic Madlib vibes in the mix, and Fatlip and Blu have good chemistry and do their thing. Cool. It's great. All right, we have Big Thief over here as well, teasing us with another track. Another song from their forthcoming 80-minute long record. Yes, that is right. Their next full-length LP is 80 minutes long, And this song over here from it is Simulation Swarm. A lot of the tracks leading up to this thing have been nothing but indie folk heat. And I'm looking forward to hearing the rest, of course. I hope you are too, because, yeah, you know, I think Big Thief is really shaping up to drop one of the best records of the year. Here we go. We have Snow Globes from Black Country New Road, also shaping up to drop one of the better records of the year too. This one's got some elements of, you know, I think post-rock mixed with free jazz, especially on the drums. And, you know, they're kind of very dramatic spoken word style as well. It's a long song, but it's a hard-hitting song and a gratifying song. Hell yeah. Shout out to Black Country New Road. We have Animal Collective with a new song from their forthcoming LP. I have not really enjoyed any of the singles from this thing so far, except for this. Like, this is really, like, hit hard and blown me away a little bit. Strung with Everything. It's really raw. It's linear. It's got multiple phases. It's shouty. It's fun. It's quite jovial. I think this is like, you know, the first song that I've heard from the record where they're really like letting loose and doing something crazy and doing something kind of unexpected. You know, I think for a while Animal Collective is kind of like, you know, creatively pushed themselves into a really predictable place. And, you know, this seems like they're kind of getting wild once again, but without trying too hard. You know what I mean? Without trying to like outdo themselves. It just seems like they're making some jammy, crazy, fun neo-psych music with a lot of vocal layers, a lot of cacophonous instrumentation. It's a good time. It's a good time. I'm liking it. Liking this one quite a bit. All right, we have also 2 Chainz, Beatking, Moneybagg Yo, pop music. A nice piece of really minimal Southern hip-hop that is, you know, about popping it. It's pretty straightforward. But, you know, reminds me of a lot of classic tracks from the South from the 2000s that were really stripped back on the beat end. Vocals very naked, up forward, you know, in your face, but low key too. And, you know, the message, the point of the song is very simple. It's very straightforward. No muss, no fuss. Just pop it. All right. Well, that has been the weekly track roundup, everybody. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. You're the best. Over here next to my head is maybe another video you could check out. But, you know, even if there's not, we'll see you in the next review or whatever. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.